If layoffs are feeling like a constant in 2026, it's because they are, and the wave is far from over. I want to be very clear. What we are seeing right now is not random, and it's not isolated to one company or one industry. In January alone, Amazon announced 16,000 corporate layoffs on top of cuts made in 2025, bringing recent reductions close to 30,000 jobs. UPS is reducing up to 30,000 roles, largely due to buyouts and natural departures. PayPal cut around 2,500 jobs, nearly 9% of its workforce. Nike laid off more than 500 employees at its Memphis facility, and companies like Pinterest, Expedia, and Wayfair have also announced layoffs. This is what many HR teams are calling a white-collar recession, especially in tech, finance, and logistics.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. There is a lot of restructuring going on. A lot of the steady eddies have been laying off thousands of people. It's just going to be rough. If you look at the economic data, especially over this past week, GDP is in a good spot. It's not a recession. It's a restructuring. Said all that to say this. Why haven't you changed your mindset? Respectfully, it's time. You have to embrace the new way of doing things. And so that's the nature of the video. We want to give you some solutions. There's enough doom and gloom online. So you want to stick to the end because I believe we have some tangible things that you can implement if you have found yourself in this unfortunate position. Really, my heart goes out to you. Hi, my name is Robert. And on this channel, we simplify the home loan process. Listen to this next video. She has some very tangible things that you can do.
If I got laid off right now, here's what I would do as a career strategist that has helped more than 300 people land new jobs, averaging about $30,000 more over the last 2 years. By the way, I've worked in big tech, I've worked for TikTok, I've worked for Google, so I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. These are my 6 steps I would take as a person if I got laid off right now. Step number 1, I would rest. You have likely had so much anxiety, so much, antsiness around, I'm probably about to lose my job, I see everybody getting laid off, Your brain does not function in chaos. It just doesn't. It's how a lot of people wind up in situations when it comes to jobs in the first place, is that they are just attempting to consistently just exist in chaos. It doesn't work. I want you to write for me in the comments, when's the last time you took rest and what did that rest look like? I don't know if you know, but there's actually multiple types of rest. It's not just sleeping or taking a nap. Sleep actually isn't even rest, but anywho, let me get into the tangible stuff before y'all be like, she's over here just telling us woo bullshit. Thing number 2, I wouldn't transition careers. I would stay in the same role or a similar role to what you do right now. Reason why? Make it easier on yourself. If you need a job quickly, right now is not the time to be like, let me just transition careers. Not today, baby. Thing number 3, I want you to update and optimize your resume. Y'all hear me say this all the time, but all I mean is that everything that's on your resume needs to point towards that job title that we're going after. Even if you've already done that job title, most of you probably missed this step before and you just happen to look into a role. So let's take the time to make sure it's good now, okay? Your professional summary, your skills, your bullet points, all of those things should point towards the job you're trying to get, not anything else. Shouldn't be random shit. Things like you're CPR certified. No one cares. I'm gonna give you a quick little tip too on those bullet points. Bullet points should be impactful and impactful only. So you can use AI, something like ChatGPT. You can copy and paste the bullet points or copy them, paste them into ChatGPT, and then give ChatGPT a prompt that sounds like, rewrite my resume bullet points, showcasing my expertise as a insert job title. Click enter, it's gonna rewrite them. And then I want you to prompt it and say, make these bullet points more metric driven or impact driven. And I need you to read over the bullet points, adjust them as you need to, because it's going to say something kind of stupid, but that is going to give you impact statement. What am I on now? Step number 4? I think step number 4. Update your LinkedIn with everything you just did on your resume. Your LinkedIn and your resume should be twins. There should be nowhere that says aspiring, transitioning, We're not doing any of that shit. Take it off. And make sure you put those job bullet points over on the job description section. A lot of people don't do that. They leave it blank. Don't do that. Once you've got your LinkedIn together, it's ready to go. Step number 5, I want you to make a post. Simple, chill, not a sob story, right? Keep it short and sweet. Hey y'all, unfortunately, I've been impacted by the layoffs, but it's all good. I am excited. I'm looking for, my new opportunity to make impact in my role as an XYZ. These are 3 ways I've made impact in my previous roles, aligned with this, and then list them out. I'm ready to get back in the saddle. So if you have a job opportunity, my DMs are open. If you're a recruiter or a hiring manager that wants to talk, my DMs are absolutely open. And don't hesitate to comment, like, or share for reach. Shout out to my community or shout out to my network. Y'all are dope. I can't wait to share my new job here soon. That's in my tone of voice. You don't have to speak in my tone of voice because that's probably going to sound weird coming out of your mouth, but you adjust it how you need to for your need. The last thing I want you to do, step number 6, is that I want you commenting on 4 people's posts every single day. Something impactful, and it's going to expand your reach. More people are going to see you. It's going to give you more visibility, so on and so forth. It seems like a step that you can skip. You can't. Do not skip this step. Doing this, you are very likely to get a new job within 30 days.
I love everything that she said, so much so I wrote it down. If you've been worried and your stress levels are high and you need to rest, but don't rest too long. You see what I'm saying? This is not the time to chill. Take some time, gather yourself, understand what's going on, and get level-headed so that you can put a plan of action together. So rest, but don't rest too long. Number 2, don't transition. I think I like that. Don't go into something completely different, especially if you have to get back into the job market, if you have to make money, because you don't have a runway or you don't have the leisure to take a lot of time. And so the quickest way back into a paycheck is to go back into what it is that you're doing. I agree with her 100%. With that, however, if you do not like being put in these types of positions, after you've rested and put your plan of action together, take some of that time where you're not actively looking to get back into the field that you were laid off in to diversify, not go from A to Z, but go from A to C, right? Stay within your wheelhouse and figure out, how can I start today something that 1 to 3 years from now will generate some income other than what it is that I know, because that's necessary nowadays. The 90s are over. You see what I'm saying? You see all these folks that are being laid off. And again, these companies are positioning themselves because a lot of the things that she mentioned in her suggestions dealt with large language models, artificial intelligence, prompting. And these things are allowing a lot of companies to get rid of a lot of folks or not replace people as they retire out or take buyouts, or in this case, layoffs. So they're buying the processing power to utilize those things. So my question to you is, why don't you know how to do them? Understand that you're laid off if you're laid off, but you can't wallow, right? I would advise you to do something online, something that you can create and spend 1 to 3 hours a week doing. What else? Update your resume. That's real, especially if you've been on the job for a while. We get comfortable. We get fat and lazy. And you have to update that resume based upon criteria that recruiters and folks that hire are looking at today. And a lot of them are using AI to screen these resumes. They're not even getting to the folks that are making the decisions. Update those things and take all that BS out. Like she's saying, it's got to be things that are impact statements. What's an impact statement? Something that increases the bottom line of the employer. Gone are the days of all of this bureaucracy and you got 15 people shuffling papers. You don't need 15 people anymore. You have to learn how to sell something, or what you're doing helps the organization make money. That's where we are. 2003 to 2010, the amount of paper that I had to go through to close a loan, the files were like this. And then we had to keep the files for 7 years, right? That's a whole industry. We don't have paper anymore. And so think about it. You don't need a lot of those folks that had to move all that paper around. And then the folks that are able to stay in this business are the ones that were able to go out and catch the fish. A lot of y'all gonna have to get your fishing rods out and learn how to catch fish. I digress. LinkedIn is what she recommends. I've heard other people say LinkedIn is dead. She's the professional, so I'm not gonna speak against that, but any place where a potential recruiter is looking for employees that are impactful and know how to do something, not just say a bunch of fluff words, but can make impact, you want to have your information there. Social media, you got to get comfortable with it, and don't get online going off and having a meltdown because everybody's going to see it. Remember those questions. Explain to me a situation that didn't go your way and how did you handle it? That's the one of the interview questions that everybody has answered at one point in time. Now you get to show them, hey, I lost my job. I'm not crying. I'm not going crazy. It is what it is. And this is what I'm going to do to move forward. You might be somebody that an employer would want to speak to, okay? Because you're actually showing in real time, not talking about it, but showing how you handle that situation and then giving a plan of action. And then back to the social media, right? Get on and comment. You have to be social. Money comes from people. If you don't like doing those types of things, what I would say to you is consider blue collar skills, handyman. I won't go into it. The last video I did, I mentioned a lot of those things. 5 skills you don't have to go to college or anything for, and they're making 6 figures plus. The sky's the limit. But you have to determine what it is that you want to do. Here are some other things that I would advise you to do, especially if you're a homeowner, okay? You want to file that unemployment ASAP, soon as you can. And then you want to contact all of your creditors, your mortgage company. If you have a government insured loan, FHA, VA, USDA, even conventional loans, right? Those are quasi-government agencies, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Reach out to those folks because communicating often and early is the key while you bide that time, okay? Your credit cards. I would say you want to put things in order of importance as far as wants and needs, and preferably you're not in a situation where you're overextended and you could buy this time, but be realistic because some of you may have to file bankruptcy and you don't want to have to go down with the ship. And when I say bankruptcy, maybe a Chapter 13, that's a restructuring. Keep those things in mind. You want to explore any relief type programs from the county, city, state, federal level. What kind of help is out there if you're going to need those types of things? Start a business, man. As a matter of fact, Kendra Lewis, someone I've known for years, 6-figure plus entrepreneur as far as in the notarial or notary industry, has an excellent course. I'll pin it in the description below. Some of you guys might want to make that pivot. That's another industry that you could get in. And if you apply yourself, that's something to grow over a period of time. If you think you might be on one of these lists for a layoff and you have a home with equity, don't go down with the ship, man. Restructure your debt. There's opportunities now. There's products now, financial products where you don't have to touch the first if you have a low rate, and you can restructure some of these things. Get a HELOC. Be proactive. And this too shall pass. It's tough out here. It's just what it is. But it's doable. You can thrive. There's a lot of opportunity. So hopefully something in this video will inspire you. If you've lost your job, my heart goes out to you. But if you implement some of these things and get a plan of action in place sooner than later and move out, I think your situation will change for the better. So my time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. Watch these next 2 videos over here. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.